Hey, welcome in, folks. This is Babbaginator. We are in the long dark, currently getting ready to go to Desolation Point. Okay, so here we are, I think. Yeah, we need to make some more torches. Oh, EG, good to see you. Request for a baba block, 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 block. There you go. Oh, I just remembered I still have to put the word down on Twitter and Blue Sky that we are here. So, hold on a second. These last few torches in hand, and then we'll be ready to go. Oh yeah, sure, I can do that on a raid. That would actually probably make sense. We might want to do that more frequently. Save, do a reading on a raid. Oops. Okay, we're good. Whew. I spent a good chunk of my day wrestling with code that is not behaving properly. Yay. It's stuff like that, today's work, that makes me think I really don't want to be stuck doing developer work full time again. I like it when things work as intended. I do not like it when things get all buggy and something weird happens and no one knows what's going on. I'm trying to figure out what's happening. I'm pulling a data set down from a data broker site, and in the process of parsing it, I think the problem is this. When I get to the field that contains the caption text or the message text, the caption text as it's been encoded is a super long string that's like basically the transcription of the video, which also contains sometimes problematic characters, I guess you could say. Like if it contains quotation marks, it really messes with parsing the string. And so that has been a real headache, because it creates this weird, it breaks up the string incorrectly, makes the divisions not work properly. So when it's parsing it doesn't parse it out properly. And yeah, I think I'm not really certain what to say. I'm going to try another day working on it, and then I'll probably message the developers on the data broker site and say, hey, what do you recommend when you've got all this unwanted material in the text that you can't seem to filter out? So all I want to do is parse a string. I do not want to have the string break into 7 different strings and then incorrectly sort themselves into the fields of a data frame that creates an overflow, some sort of read error. And it's just not fun. Anyways, I mean, it's like at some point I really just want to teach creative writing and help academic researchers. That's what I want to do. I don't want to get involved in too much deep development stuff. And this is not really a full application development, but it is kind of a messy problem. I may actually just have to build a separate version of this file that's just isolated to just the code that we're interested in. Because right now there's a whole bunch of different functions in there for solving other problems that we needed earlier, which don't need in the present situation. So, yeah. Woohoo! Roller, welcome in. Good to see you. We are almost out of here. We're almost in Desolation Point. We are still looking for a bedroll, though. Combustion point. Ignition point. Nice.
Too heavy to carry.
So how was your day? Hopefully more exciting than my day. Actually, there was excitement today. I found out I got some money that I wasn't expecting. Or technically I'd forgotten about. In both cases, I had forgotten that I still had some unspent, or if you have a Costco membership and you've set up the Costco CIBC MasterCard, then any purchases you make on that MasterCard go towards a cashback program that they have. So you end up with this gift certificate for Costco of, extra credit money that you can spend back at Costco. And so I had forgotten that I hadn't spent the money from so the check they issued for 2004 or the one for this year. So next time I do grocery shopping, it's covered, which would be nice. And then I'm a regional chair for the international region of the Kundiman Asian American Literary Organization, which basically is a long way of saying that I'm in charge of hosting online events and a monthly meetup on Zoom for writers of Asian descent scattered all throughout the world outside of the US. And as regional chair, they pay me a small stipend annually to do that. I forgot that I was getting that, so it showed up in the bank account. I was like, oh, extra money. But it's and it also is like US dollars converted to Canadian, so it's like extra money. So that was a bit of good news, which actually is perfect because it makes up for the fact that there was a week where I didn't work because I was in Montreal for this conference, and so I was a little worried about, I mean, I hadn't enough saved up, but I was a little concerned that funds would be a little bit tighter at the end of this month. You know, because of that, because I was going to be short like half of a paycheck. And now that's not the case. Now I have more than enough. So. And then they're offering to, they also have a call out for pitching online classes and workshops. So I think I'm going to do that. I'll pitch something. So this month, I'm basically going to spend the next 2 weeks. I need to dedicate some time to drafting workshops and classes, and also finishing my cover letter for the writer-in-residence position with the university library here. But yeah, I figure even if the path to getting a full-time position might be a little rocky right now, I'll hopefully be able to cobble together enough like of these classes and workshops that I can earn a little bit from, that I'll balance out. And like the Kundiman workshops would be US dollars, so that's good in terms of exchange rate. Oh, it continue not as Canadian Tire money. Takes forever before you have enough to do anything with those. You know what? We got 28 coal here. We're gonna dump 10 here. Just pick up a little speed. I want to check and see if there's anything in the stone chapel before we go. This is a stone church. The ruined church has a bedroll. Then we definitely want that. If it has anything else that's useful, we'll definitely want that. In terms of far starting, we are still just left with Maglens as our only hope. Maglens, you are our only hope. You can spend the Canadian Tire. I guess, are they owned by the same company now? I guess they are. I noticed that there's a kind of a local mall for Canadian Tire that also has Marks, and it also has Marshalls. And then I guess Marshalls is also the owner of Winners. Welcome to Canada, where we've got monopolies. Yay. Who is it that's trying to buy the Hudson Bay trademarks? I'm trying to remember which of the stores it is that's doing that. Ooh. Yeah, anyways, I heard that. No can do. We can't take that. Okay, we did not find a bedroll here. But I do think we need... Hey, Fox! Woohoo! Welcome in. Good to see you. What have you been up to? Feel like it's been a while.
Yeah, we're trying to melt the Beetle Queen. Trying really hard. Oh! That really
Just
hurt.
doing a silly
That did not
challenge
feel good.
really
I am dead.
to, survive without using matches.
No.
Oh wow. Are you getting sleep now? I am, let's see, doing pretty well. I have one last class for the summer, which is really a research project, a collaborative research project with a faculty person. So that's what I'm up to. And then I'm still doing this job where I'm basically a jack of all trades, Swiss Army knife developer for the humanities professors. So I've been doing that job, but it is ultimately a graduate position. So I finish at the end of August. The university has kindly extended my position until December. And they would like to find a way to hire me permanently. At least my immediate boss and the faculty that I tend to work with the most would like to find a way to keep me. But it really depends on if they can make a strong enough case, because the current academic climate for most Canadian universities is budget constraint and hiring freezes. So creating a new position is unlikely, but not impossible. This is at least an area that the dean is interested in investing in, so it could translate into a position. Okay, I'm gonna keep 5.
Wonder if I can drop any of this gear.
Yeah, and then I don't know if you were around when I moved off campus, but I'm now living off campus, and I have a roommate. So I share the place with one other person who is actually a PhD, doing a PhD in chemistry. So it's nice. It's maybe about 35 minutes away from campus by bus. If you're going in the regular 9 to 5, 9 to 7 range, but if you are trying to get home at the end of the day when the buses run slower, then it could be 45 minutes to get home. So not perfect, but we are also really close to the bus stop. We're close to the metro station, the train subway system. So SkyTrain is what we call it here, which is strange since it's only above ground some of the time. But actually most of the time it's below ground. And yeah, so location-wise it's great. It's easy to get to the airport, easy to get downtown, easy to get around to different places.
This much gear.
So I do like it. And the rent's very reasonable. So for now, I'm inclined to stay. Trying to weasel his way into a software position. Yeah, mine's like, honestly, for what we get, it's a real steal. It's below market rate. So we have a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom place in a 2020 house, so it's a newer construction. It has all utilities included with the exception of electricity, and the electricity bill is pretty cheap, all things considered. And there's street parking for me, so I have some place to put the car. convenient for getting to university, getting downtown, getting to a lot of different places. Basement unit, but with lots of windows. And relatively new appliances. So
I'm not going to be able to carry this load for much longer.
total 2,500. 1,250 each, which is like a ridiculously good deal for Vancouver. So we're very fortunate with this. Total. Yeah, for Vancouver, what this apartment at 2,500 would actually normally be going for at least 3,000, if not 3,500. Location wise, condition wise, yeah. You know, per person, typically people end up paying around 1,500. 15 to 1,700. You can get cheaper, but usually you're sacrificing something. Either you're going to end up having to live with a lot of people, or you're going to have a really crappy house, or you're going to have a really long commute. Oh, we also get, as part of all our utilities, is free top tier fiber optic internet connection. So we have super fast internet connection, which is great. And it doesn't cost me a thing. So yeah, when you add up all the incidentals and other perks for being here, it's this is definitely a 1,500 per person unit, at least. And I'm kind of spoiled since I got the larger room, so I have the walk-in closet as well. And it's like a residential area. Tree streets, lots of old growth trees. Very green, very quiet. I do a lot of walking in the neighborhood. Just really nice. Yeah, just overall really calming most of the time just to be here. Oh, no worries.
This pack is getting too heavy to carry.
Yeah, I was complaining about that earlier. I've got a problem with one of the projects I'm working on, that they have me working on, involves like pulling these like data requests from a data broker site, and the problem is one of the fields is the contents. It's the what is it? Video transcript. So video transcript, all the text from like that's spoken, and the transcription unfortunately contains multiple, like sometimes contains additional quotes, and so the quote marks are messing up the parsing. And yeah, so it reads it into a data frame. I swear it's these quotes that are breaking the data frame, so that then it gets sorted into the wrong fields, causes an overflow. Yeah, something bad's happening. So I'm trying to find a good workaround for that. Figuring out if there's a way I can intercept it clean it. I might have to do this annoying.
Barely walk with this much gear.
Yeah, there may be a way to do it. I just haven't wanted to do the other way. So yeah, it's a third-party site, so I can't fix how they deliver the content. I can reach out to the developers though, and I can say, hey, this is kind of an annoying thing. How have you handled this in the past? Because they almost certainly have had other clients say, this is an issue. But the other thing we're doing is we're doing BERT topic modeling, I think is what it's called. Anyways, because the video transcripts are so lengthy, that's another problem, is they're really long. We're looking for, any entries that match a particular set of keywords or phrases. But when the text block is so long, we don't need all the text. We just need like a little window around the relevant part. So, the part that is a match. And so they provided me with a code snippet for apparently how this is done. And then I discovered there was a bug in their code, and I had to fix that. It's like, but yeah, so that was fun.
Not gonna be able to carry this load for much longer.
But I was saying earlier, it's days like today make me realize that I really don't want to be a developer full time. I just want to, primarily be a research consultant, academic, teach classes, run workshops, and curate, library collections, run programming, things like that. I don't really want to do, spend all my days locked away in a cubicle writing code, because I already did that. I already did that life. The academic life, or the locked away in the cubicle fixing other people's code or trying to write bridges? Yeah, fixing other people's code is like the worst. Or when they ask for things that are like totally unrealistic. Oh look, another pry bar. Look at all these pry bars. Hello? I don't think I see a bedroll there. What we are going to do is we are going to start a fire in the bin. Yeah, my other headache is there's a different project I'm working on, which I'm going to have to spend some time tomorrow working on, which involves dealing with AWS and Llama 3 and yeah. Yeah, it's a whole fun little project that I really wonder sometimes why this particular professor recruited me to work on this, but because I swear we spent like about 3 weeks just dealing with trying to get things set up properly in AWS. It's pushing 4 weeks now. and having to recruit different help to sort out how to do things. We finally got like the database set up properly, so.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one.
Okay, let's put some water on. Okay, let's continue our search around here. Yeah, we're not picking up camera stuff. It's too much of a hassle. Yeah, you just have to be a mad scientist, that's all. So it's almost 50. 2. Come on. I don't think we've hit our... No, we're still nowhere close to getting to fire starting 3. Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to be part of your insomnia problem, right? Yeah. I am considering doing, because really I only am authorized to work up to 15 hours a week. So in theory, if I plan my schedule right, I should be able to have some other daytime blocks of time to stream. Currently involved doing some mentoring, and then I'm also teaching a class later this month, at the end of the month. So schedule's still a little bit up in the air, but yeah. The knock you out like a zombie meds, yeah. Yeah, it is, generally speaking, one thing that I have not had to worry about. Usually I can fall asleep pretty quickly. Yeah. If anything, my problem is sometimes in the middle of the day I get sleepy. And the irony of that is that for a while the problem was that I wasn't physically active enough. And then, the last few months I've been like making a concerted effort to do more exercise, do more walking. And now I'm walking, about 8,000-9,000 steps a day. And so now what happens is I am still tired, you know. No bedroll. Okay, so definitely no bedroll.
Place to rest.
We'll have to go upstairs. Okay. Two. Let's drop everything.
I can barely walk with this much gear.
Yeah, we just use torches and flares and maglins and firestriker, but we cannot pick up matches. We can't keep matches. We cannot use them. So far our record is 14 days. We went 14 days before an Aurora Wolf took us out. It was not fun. Just eat all the cans, I guess. And everything that's low. Before it can go bad. I'm gonna leave 3 of them here.
I'm not going to be able to carry this load for much longer.
So yeah, Fox, part of the inspiration for this particular challenge was the previous run, or before I started doing Matchless. The run, the Interloper run, it was a genuine Interloper run. I had over 100 matches by day 7. It was just so ridiculous. I was just incredibly match lucky, and it made the whole experience kind of weird. Even by day 50, I still had over 100 matches. I kept finding more and more matches. And so, yeah, it was just kind of like, I need to try this without matches because sometimes you can have too much. Let's see, there's another one here. Just put this up here. We found 3 matches. Okay, so this is not my favorite thing to do, but I think we will probably just have to sleep. Yeah, sounds noisy out there. Okay, let's read this. Oops, still sounds noisy.
Ah, I'm starving.
Okay, let's see what it looks like out there. Can we start a fire?
The pack is getting too heavy to carry.
We cannot. Guess I don't have any fuel.
I can barely walk with this much gear.
Yeah, I would really like a flare.
God, I'm starving.
Okay, let's see what we've got. We probably don't need this many whetstones. We do have fuel.
Maybe trees. I'm not going to be able to carry this load for much longer.
Too early. Hmm.
I'm starving.
Too gray, too windy. Was not good.
This pack is getting...
Okay, here we go. Got light. But now we need a place to put the fire.
Right on. Barely walked with this much gear. I never thought I'd be dying from starvation.
I'm glad he couldn't figure out how to get through the front door. Just go on your way, bear. Leave me alone. All I want to do is cook my bannock. Yeah, you're cooking in bear grease. That's what happens, right? Man, it's still going. Just cut me some slack. Give me a break in the fire. Give me in the wind.
I'm not gonna be able to carry this load for much longer.
Cooking 3. We're on our way. Okay, I think we're officially too low on that. We can make more porridge. I just want this storm to stop. Give me enough.
too heavy to carry.
How many torches do we have? We got a fair number. Okay, so I think what we want to do, got a couple choices here. One, see if we can make it to Scruffy's cave. Or do we go to Hibernia? We don't have a bedroll. We have to go see if we can find the bedroll. Ugh, not my favorite thing to go into a blizzard like this. Oh, no. Smart thing to do is to actually go to Hibernia. The reason why is because Hibernia will have the lockbox key that will give us access to the flares. That's what we want. Then we'll have more ways to start fires, and we won't be dependent on having a sunny morning. Yeah, it takes a lot of time though to get there. Figures there's a wolf out here. Go away. We also have cabin fever risk, so we need to spend some time outside as well. If we had a bedroll, I would just sleep on the deck of the Hibernia, or of the Riken. Alas, we do not have a bedroll. I mean, who knows, maybe we'll find it.
I can barely walk with this much gear.
Nothing. We already got one of those, and we don't really use it, so. Okay, at the very least, we can drop 8 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You know what we should do? Sure that we have a fire going somewhere, so if our torch blows out, we can always come back here.
Come on, little fire. Come on. Perfect.
Any requests, Roller? I'm gonna wrap up. So someone else already put in a request for me to read something if we get another raid. If we get a raid. Okay. Okay, we have access to a flare. Okay, the real question is, do we stay here? Go back. I think we should go grab the flares. Weather seems fine right now.
This pack is getting too heavy to carry.
Okay, let's do it. There are 2 wolves out here. Go away. Wait.
Barely walk with this much gear.
You know, we feel really brave. We could go try the cave as well. I don't know if the bedroll still spawns at the cave, but it's worth a shot. I guess there's also the other trailer we haven't tried. Let's also try that. Ooh, there's a bear over there. I do. Can't believe the bear is hanging out over there. I hear you out there. Yeah, if it works, right? Oh, don't come back, buddy. Don't come back. The cure for... You know, Fox, did I ever tell you that I once had an editing contract where one of my friends who was doing, I think, a master's in psychology, asked me, basically his thesis committee said, you really need to have a professional editor on this. So he hired me to edit his master's thesis in psychology, and the topic was insomnia. And when I read through the manuscript of the thesis, I was like, I hate to break this to you, but the cure for insomnia is your thesis. It was so dry. Every sentence was structured exactly the same. So he hadn't really figured out, like, he had content-wise it was all there, but he really didn't know how to string sentences, statements together to turn them into, like, an argument, right? So, like, I had to kind of illustrate, like, here's how you do this. You got the parts here. You just need to, like, frame it like an argument. What's the point that you're trying to make? What's the evidence that you've got? You know, what is the conclusion? Where are you trying to drive at? And yeah, as opposed to just kind of dropping facts, you know. Yeah, and especially since it's clinical, right? He's just... This guy's stuck. I swear this guy's stuck. Is he still there? I think he's still there. Where did he go? I don't hear him. Uh-oh. Where'd he go? Oh, there he is. Okay, we solved our fire problem. And then he goes down here. Okay, it's officially too late, so we're not going to try to do that in the dark. Hey, did it not work? Let me get the sound alerts working again. May have logged out. Yeah, I got it to you. Okay, so I guess the good news is we solved our fire problem. Oh. Yeah, for some reason I have to play around with my settings, but for some reason I don't hear the sound alerts anymore. Actually, I don't even hear the whatchamacallit. When I play like the shoutouts, the clips, I don't even hear the clips anymore. So I have to figure out why that is the case. Okay. Okay. Okay, let's see what we got here. Oh, I just realized we're going to get cabin fever. I don't think there's any way around that. We should have kept the fire going. Oh, I think the fire is still going outside. We could probably relight. Or did we take the last one? Maybe we should have left it burning. Oh, still burning. Good. Close. Alright. I forgot we still have to... I wonder... Can we build a snow shelter out here?
Come on, little fire. This pack is getting too heavy to carry.
Now, our problem is we actually don't have enough firewood right away. Yeah, I think the problem with me not hearing these sound alerts or the shoutouts has more to do with my OBS setup. I think I may have to fiddle around with things. Oh, I need one more stick. Yeah, that might be it. Will it let me build an indoor snow shelter here? I don't know. Maybe it won't. Oh, there's the spot. Yeah, it's just acting up weird. Let's go get some more firewood.
I can barely walk with this much gear.
No, speaking of other annoying web stuff, I discovered today that two of my, I mean, they're not really big websites, but the two of the websites I've built in the past in WordPress have had some malware infection and now no longer are running as intended. Basically, they're not working at all. One of them I had no real big plans to do anything with, so I just disabled the WordPress and redirected it to, so like my, what is it, fantastic descriptions, you know, it now just points currently to a regular HTML, CSS site, and I'll rewrite it anyways to do what I want it to do. And then the other one, which is the Lit Fantastic, which was the home, the home for the, well, let's see, how can I put it? It was the website that provided information on the podcast series that I ran. That one was a little bit more useful, but I'm just going to have to replace it with a really simple stub that redirects to the SoundCloud where everything's archived anyways. I am not entirely certain, but from the diagnostics that I ran, it seemed to indicate that the one of the themes I was using, Sparkling, had a vulnerability that was exploited, which led to the infection of one of the files. Now, the malware detection plugin, because of capitalism, will not divulge which file got infected unless I'm willing to spend, an annual, pay for an annual subscription for that information and the fix, which I'm not. I'm not going to spend $149 to fix one file. That's just ridiculous. Especially since both of them, are not really, let's see, the Lit Fantastic website, there's a good argument for just building a static site instead. So maybe build it in Hugo or something like that. And then I never have to worry about, these type of issues again. It would be good also to have that in my portfolio of, me doing something with a static build site. The other one, the Fantastic Description site, was already going the direction of being a straight HTML, CSS site, since so much of it is just my JavaScript RPG generators. And I think I just simply wanted to have, some links back to the YouTube series that I did as well. Yeah. I don't know enough to do some things, but I'm not like JavaScript in terms of like web dev stuff. I'm JavaScript in terms of application or generators or things like that. Back again. He's back again. Hey, buddy. Okay, so that answers the question about whether or not I should camp outside, because it looks like if he gets the right angle, he actually can enter. So let's not do that. Wow. He's not happy. I really need a bedroll. I really desperately need a bedroll. I mean, the next option would be to go. Oh, now he's ticked off the wolves out there too. Yeah, I mean, my best bet for a bedroll is hoping that it's in Scruffy's cave. Because at this point, I think we've exhausted. Oh, the other option we have? We could make our way to. We could take the advantage right now and try to go to the lighthouse. Or we try to do the cave. Let's do the cave. Bit of a gamble. But he ran off the other direction, so I think we're fine. Or not, or we could have an Aurora. Let's not do the Aurora. No, I tried to build fires in there too, and it did not work. They're not windproof. Can't believe the moment I suggested going somewhere, I got hit with the Aurora. Okay, well, we're going to get cabin fever. There's pretty much nothing we could do.
Too heavy to carry.
We have a bed at least here, right? But we're going to get cabin fever. Oh, we've already searched this place too. Okay, so best we can hope for.
All I can think about is food.
Yeah. We need to eat something. Now we're at 2. Aurora's over.
I can barely walk with this much gear.
How do we feel about this? It's cold. We'll wait an hour. Okay, we're gonna gamble.
I'm not going to be able to carry this load for much longer. can use this.
Something to numb the pain? Yeah. Any more feathers? No more feathers. Yeah, we opted for no Aurora Scruffy. How are we doing for days now? Day 11.
This pack is getting too heavy to carry. Oh, I keep forgetting that book's on me. I guess we haven't. Okay. Come on, little fire. Barely walk with this much gear.
Curious to see if there's actually a Scruffy here or not. I haven't heard him so far, so. Is he sleeping? Or is he actually here? Or maybe he's gone. Come on, bedroll. Let there be a bedroll. Be a great way to end the stream tonight. Finding the bedroll. The previous run was going so well. We had the bedroll like day 1, I think. Not only is there no bedroll, there is absolutely nothing here. Okay, next question. Is there anyone here?
Come on, little fire. Come on. Perfect. I'm so hungry.
I think there's no wolf here.
snow for much longer.
No Scruffy. Well, that's interesting. So maybe we'll be brave and go and explore. The bones are here, suggest that it should be Scruffy. But nothing spawned. Yeah, except for we don't hear Scruffy in here, so we're going to probably do a risky thing and actually go in. This is the Baba trick. My firewall. Oh, I had this idea. The first time I heard about bedroll being sometimes spawning in Scruffy's cave and realizing that I don't actually need to explore this section, at least where it used to spawn was up there. I just need to prevent Scruffy from coming out and dealing with me. And so it occurred to me that this is a choke point. It's just not, it's narrow enough that I could block it with 2 fires. I actually used to use 3 fires. So the wolf won't go through the fires. But I don't hear the wolf in here, so I don't think there's a Scruffy. If there's no Scruffy, then there's like loot. And food.
This'll come in handy.
That's where the guy up top went. Ooh, another flare. Very useful. A little bit of food. Try the little cave here. Nothing. Wow, this is kind of disappointing. I mean, a little bit of food. Yeah, I'm not sleeping in here. Like,
Come on, little fire.
I think sometimes there's a lag and he doesn't show up.
That didn't work.
I'm not going to wait around to find out. Okay.
Come on, little fire.
I actually don't want to cook the meat inside the cave. for various reasons, but partly because we're still on the verge of cabin fever, and so it would make more sense to just take the meat and the hides. Do we want the guts? We won't do the guts here. We'll do the guts from Katie's secluded corner. We'll take the hide though. No. Oh, it's dropping. Maybe we'll be okay. Actually, I guess we could have cooked it while we harvested here.
This pack is getting too heavy to carry. Come on, little fire.
Oh, that's also funny. My favorite is, if Scruffy is in the cave and I have him blocked off,
Oh, yeah.
I then harvest this deer and eat it in front of him. It's like, it's the most annoying thing. It's like, what? It's not cool, bro. Big power move. Eat his dinner right in front of him.
Barely walk with this much gear.
Okay, getting out of here.
Come on.
Oh, it's going to take too long.
This pack is getting kind of heavy.
Yeah. Not happy about traveling in the fog. Don't know what we're going to run into.
I'm not going to be able to carry this load for much longer.
Uh-oh. That's precisely why I didn't want to go out in the fog. And I have no tinder left.
I'm not sure I can carry much.
How did I run out of tinder? That's annoying. Let's see if he took our meat or left it alone. Oh, there's a wolf in here. That's a new wolf path. I don't usually see that one. Hmm. Oh. Oh. Yeah, I probably should wrap up. 2 hours. Good time.
Man, this pack is getting kind of heavy.
I really wish we had a bedroll. Why don't we have a bedroll? Yeah, we can stockpile a bunch of wood. Okay, we'll finish our sweep of this area. I think see, there's another flare. I could use that.
This pack is getting too heavy to carry.
So many batteries. I was really eager to get out of Scruffy's cave to someplace safe. And I also wanted to get out of that bear situation, so yeah, I did want to devote a little bit more time to that. But I am annoyed that we have not found bedroll. I'm grateful for the extra flare, though. It's helpful. Yeah, it would have been awesome if it was here, but it's not. So I think next stream, which is, I believe, Thursday night, we will find out if we break our 14-day record on Matchless. Okay, here we go. Day 12. Yeah, great catching up with you, Fox. Hope you're getting the rest you need now with your new meds, and that you're making progress on your work projects.
I'm not sure I can carry much more.
Okay, there we go. Now this is a save. Okay, all done. So we do have some poetry to do before we go. Poetry request from something from a friend. Trying to think who I haven't read from in ages. Trying to think who would be. Interesting to read from. Okay, I'll read something from my friend Jessica Piazza. She and I were in the same PhD cohort for poetry at USC, and discovered we also shared the same, we were born on the same day, different years, same day. So only 3 poets accepted for each year, and 2 of us had the same birthday, which was very wild. So she did a series of poems for her first book that were all based around phobias and philias. And so clinical phobias and philias, some really weird ones. And she wrote most of them in sonnet form. So I don't usually write myself. I rarely write in sort of that type of formal structure, meter and verse, and worrying about iambic feet and all that other fun stuff with scansion. But she does, and she really is good at it. So I'll read this. This is eremophobia, fear of loneliness or of being oneself. Hi, I, High me on this a birthday high, internal eye of this year's storm. Hello, you, point without an exclamation, wave a single hand, then wave the other, pair them off. A sacrifice concise as this, pity your pity today and let it lie. An alibi for a scoffing enemy, myself and my most toxic company, myself. These withered candles leak their wax. What could these last wet decades turn and wane? Picture me today as a metronome. I'm home, away, one way, the next, and strike each hour and strike again, a single tone, one arm, one fist, alone, exalt, against. Yeah, so anyways, kind of a weird poem, but yeah, she kind of likes weird projects like that. Jessica Piazza. Put this. This was in Coconut Poetry some years ago. I think I'll give you the link to her site if you want to check out her work. Okay, so, and then we'll do something from me. What should we do? What should we do? I'll ask the poem chooser and see if there's anything I feel like it's keep pulling up Prodigal, but that's such a sad poem. We could do that. Something a little bit. There's so much drama and terrible things happening in the world. Sometimes you need something a little bit more, a little different. Okay. We'll have time enough for trauma and difficult things, but I'm going to read something from Babbage's Dream from my second book, published by Cypress Publications in 2017. This poem is from a series of poems written about Charles Babbage, 19th century mathematician who designed, partially built, but never finished what would have been the first computer. So he was a full 130 years ahead of his time. And I found him like a really fascinating person as a whole, not just as sort of this genius who never sees the full fulfillment of this vision, but also as a full human being who had struggles and challenges and loves and triumphs. Quite unexpectedly sometimes, he did not anticipate falling in love and then suddenly found himself very much to his chagrin. I think he lived in the world of numbers. He probably today we would say fell somewhere on the spectrum. And I suspect he probably also was somewhere on the ace or asexual spectrum. He really was focused, for the most part, on solving these big math problems or figuring out solutions to complicated real-world issues, and did not really have a lot of attention or interest in romance. He was very good at storytelling, but he was not one who played the field, so to speak. And even his mother notes that after his wife's death, there was a part of him that just never reopened, and he just threw himself completely into it. But before all that tragedy happens, there is this poem. Babbage, waking beside Georgiana, considers the moon, 1815. Sometimes it seems if you have but one heart between the two of you, how you empty of light when you are far from her, how you fill again upon your return. Everywhere you travel, her face goes before you, on your lips the pale incandescence of her name. There are no wires of silver or filigree gold, as fine as the invisible lines that fix you in orbit around her laugh. and that wry smile that unravels you in the most incalculable of ways. For her, you've given up gladly all that your father possesses, choosing the heart over the goldsmith's scales, over the manor and the servants. Nothing else matters. The whole world recedes on nights like this. London disappears, every flickering light, every quaking sound, only her breath against your cheek, her hair loose across the pillow, and her mind asleep but full of unseen wonder, and the extravagant pleasure of living that always eludes the mechanical, that cannot be found anywhere in the universe of number. You press your lips against her brow, and she stirs, drawing you in still closer, as if the heart were now a flying shuttle across a room, how it shines so perfectly in the dark, rising, then falling, like the bright needle of God. That was Babbage waking beside Georgiana considers the moon. So there's a number of things going on here. Like that final image of the shuttle across the room, that's a reference to the automated weaving machines, the jacquard loom that Babbage took his inspiration from in terms of realizing you could use punch cards to store data and instructions. And so, the origin of punch cards as a means of recording data and using it for programming and for data storage is actually with Babbage and jacquard, way back then. There is also another interesting side note here. Babbage, there is on the far side of the moon, in the shadow part of the moon, that we don't see, that's away from us at all times. There is a crater that's named after Charles Babbage, and so that's another reason why it kind of invoked the moon here. And it is true here that when he fell for Georgiana and proposed to her and they got engaged, his father was adamant that this was a bad idea. Did not think, he thought Babbage was rushing into things, thought that this was a bad match, and threatened to disown him completely. Now, Babbage's father was a very successful goldsmith and gold dealer, and so basically kind of in the gold trade in general, and so had money, had significant money, and Babbage, just kind of accepted it. He said, look, I choose her. And so he was not thwarted or daunted by that. And so that's like a moment when you read sort of the historical account where you realize this person that we always think of as almost like a robot, almost so focused. Like even his contemporaries sometimes refer to him as that old calculating machine. That in his youth, he was a romantic, There was some part of him that was capable of this big romantic gesture of being able to drop everything for the sake of someone that he had fallen for. And, and so there was some sort of like inexplicable gravity, an orbital pull that held him to her, that bound them together, and they were just everywhere together until she got sick and passed away. And so, but this is before that moment. So in order to understand his loss, you have to understand, how deeply he was in love with her. Okay. Thanks. I don't know. Felt like I wanted to mix things up tonight. So thanks again for hanging out with me. Appreciate it. We are going to find someone to raid, and we will take up our move on. Next adventure. So who do we have? We have AV is up. I don't know what AV is doing. Ooh, AV. Ooh, AV. Okay, let's get ready for our raid. Thank you for hanging out. We'll be back again Thursday night, I think. Till then, hey Nuka, good to see you as well. I should sort of not be too late to do this, but we'll throw it in. Okay, and off we go. Read time. Okay, thanks. Take care.